Hey everybody, it's Strict9 with Strict9 GP, and welcome back to another episode of my Draft Day Sports College Basketball playthrough. And today's going to start a new series, a new era. After 3 years with Austin Peay, one Final Four tournament appearance and a win, and another postseason tournament, I decided to move on. We went out. We never had a losing record. Wasn't too bad. 59-39 is my record overall. But I just wanted to move to a different team, mainly a different conference with a better prestige level. And looking at the jobs that were out there, I picked this Penn State team. And there's a lot of upside to this. There's a lot of things about this job that I like. So you can see already big bump in pay looks like. They're wanting us to finish a lot better than they have been. Qualify for the NIT, finish in top half of conference, finish above 500, and improve school prestige. So a lot of things I've got to do here, but this is really a good challenge because it puts me in a great conference in the Big Ten, where I think if we do well, we got a good chance of making that tournament year after year and getting good seeds, good matchups. And on the other side, this team has room to grow. I mean, team prestige is now at 2 stars in this game, with a conference prestige of 4.5. I mean, that's a lot. That's a lot of room to grow. If we grow into that prestige, if we get up to about 4, say, and we're in a 4.5 prestige conference, I mean, every time we have a good season, we're gonna make the Final Four tournament, or we're gonna be in the running just about every year, the way I'm looking at it. So that's why I picked this team. There were some other ones out there from I'm coming from a prestige conference of 2 in the OVC in this game anyway. It's how it's rated, but there were some other conferences, other teams that were like 2.5, maybe 3. But this gives me the overall challenge I'm looking for. Low prestige team in a high prestige conference. So it was a perfect match. And if you look at how they've done in the 3 years I've been simming this with this game, they have struggled coming off an 11-20 record, 3-17 in the conference. So got my work cut out for me. There's no question, but I like the team that I picked here. So let's take look at a few things, and then we'll move into hiring coaches, because I'm coming straight over here with nothing really. So the team itself. Now these ratings are probably going to change when I manage to get coaches. Right now I don't have any, right? But there are some positives in the sense that, we've got a couple of good position players here, or players here, shooting guard, small forward, seniors, 3.5 stars. Galen Laws, if you look at his stats coming into this season, he could be better, but he's kind of on a level with a small forward, kind of like what we had with Jepson at Austin Peay. Gets you close to 10 points a game, gives you a pretty good amount of rebounds a game. So that's the kind of player he probably is. He's got good relationships. I like that. He's not a great outside shooter, but he is a good scorer, potentially even better than he is. So I think he's probably going to be better defensive player than offense, but he's one of the better players I have. And then we've got Trevor Williams, a shooting guard, kind of the same deal, 8 points a game. He is a good outside shooter, a pretty decent free throw shooter, but he is a senior. So these are the best players on this team, and that means that really I've got to develop some of the younger ones and get some good recruits in here. And the thing that's going to scare you if you look at this team is center. We've got 2 freshmen, Mark Sandin, a pretty big freshman, 6'10", 251 pounds, 4-star potential, but man, he is not ready to start, and he's going to have to start because unless one of these power forwards here has seen time at center, the backup, Jimmy Clark at center, is 1-star potential freshman. So, and this is coming off last season. So I'm, saying freshman, he's going to be a sophomore this year. And man, that makes me realize these seniors are going to be off the team. Oh man, what am I thinking? So we've got a power forward here, 3-star junior, and a 2.5-star small forward, J.J. Douglas, who is 3.5 potential. Whoa. And here's a shooting guard sophomore with a 2.5, 4-star potential. He had a pretty decent game last year. Good outside shooter, good free throw shooter. We're not going to be in a great spot. We've got a couple guys with some mood issues. Mike Messiah, sophomore, looks like he may have been a redshirt, 4-star potential point guard. He's got some chance, some upside. Another 4-star potential shooting guard here. Well, I just looked at him, but he's got some mood issues. Looks like not too good of a relationship with the coach and the team, but it's not too bad either. I can probably improve those, but this guy, I don't know. He's not friendly. He's really not having a good relationship with me right now. And if I look at the recruiting class, so these are the ones that are coming in. We got a 1-star point guard who looked like he may have had some good rating fluctuations there, had some good high school numbers, and a 2-star shooting guard, another one who looks like he moved up position rating wise as the season went on. Another small forward, same deal, plus on his ratings there. And then Isaac Jones, power forward, may have been one of the better recruits I guess they had, but he lost some position ratings there as the season went on. And that's it. So these 4 guys are coming in. That'll help me with point guard, but I'm really still going to be struggling with center. So I have this guy probably taking over for a power forward, Douglas or Ferguson. No, Ferguson's gone. So I'm losing a lot of people off this team. Really am. But who's A.D. Lee? I think he's injured he's a transfer. So he's going to be available later on. It looks like, what's his player stats? St. Joseph's. He's got some good potential too. Small forward. Looks like he's got great work ethic, or good work ethic. Outside shooting a potential of 10. So this guy may get some time there in small forward. But some balance until you get to the center. I'm just hoping that I can come up with some strategies. I probably won't go too in-depth on the strategies this episode, but more than likely we're going to be an outside shooting team. Depends on how some of the proficiencies are with, like for my strategy, I haven't got anything set. This is what they were playing, looks like, and I don't know. That seems to be relying a whole lot on one offense. Although if you got a young team, it might help to keep them focused on one or so. But we'll see how it looks when I get the recruits and get the scouts or the assistant coaches signed that give me a better look at scouting. So what we're going to do is we are moving on to the coach hiring period. So I want to look at first assistant first, and we're probably going to look for somebody who's got good player development reputation. And man, we got some head coaches here, but I think I'm probably going to have to show. I don't see a way to. I don't really see a way here to show just assistant coaches. But anyway, we got some guys here we can look at. I mean, here's one, Jeff Cape. He's got great recruiting and player development and offensive skill. I wonder if I could get him interested. So let's see. Make off. Okay, I'm going to have a first assistant, and let's say, God, I don't know how this works, but let's say $55,000 for 3 years. I mean, I don't know if that's gonna get it, but let's see what that does. And then let's do second assistant, somebody who's good with recruiting. So we got Cape, who we've already. Now John Hill. Let's see what he's if he's got any kind of history. He was a second assistant at Missouri State, and they didn't look too good under his watch. Here's another guy, no coach history. You see Irvine, and he's been around a long time. So he's got good recruiting, but he doesn't give you much else. So I want somebody who's a little bit more balanced. So probably not going to get him. But at the same time, maybe this guy would be somebody who would be okay. He's been with Radford. They're coming off some good tournament appearances anyway. They had a 26-win season last year. So let's see if I offer him second assistant at $45,000 a year for 3 years. Let's see what he does. And then last, we have third assistant. Somebody who's good with scouting. So we got Hawaii, South Florida. Let's see what his Troy Jones here. Let's see what his coach history looks like. Second assistant, man, they struggled. I don't like that. So that was South Florida. Here's Hawaii. Boy, he was even worse. I like having some good scouts, though. James Cox. He's really no. And then here's this guy, Corey Daniels. Mount St. Mary's. Man, I could try him, third assistant, if he would do it. Let me see what he was first assistant there, but man, I think that's a pretty big boost. Let me see if he'll take 45 for 3 years. No, third assistant. Let's see if he'll take 40. All right, so there's what we got. So let's see if anybody's gonna take our offers here. I really don't like the fact that you're not getting much balance. So do we have anybody who signed with, I see Austin P in the mix. So we got second assistant. I don't see the third assistant. So Jeff Cape apparently didn't like. He didn't like my offer. Yeah, so I got the second assistant. So I'm going to have to go back to the drawing board here. So let's say first assistant. Now, I don't know if he's still available. It wasn't Harper, but it was somebody. I was going for player development. It was Jeff Cape, I'm pretty sure, right? Now, David Spann, he's probably going to be the recruiting guy for the most part, but let me go back to the coaches here, because I think this guy for New Jersey IT, I think, what's he wanting? He's really wanting a lot. I don't want to put all my money into an assistant coach. So what's this Simon Shepard here? He's got really good player development skill. His reputation's not that great, but he was with Miami as a third assistant. Andy Penny was with Temple. Wow, that's pretty good. He's old though, but I'm gonna try this guy. He's wanting 71 though, so let's try 65 for just 2 years, and see if he likes that. Oh man, that's gonna put me hurting in recruiting, but I've still got more money than I had at Austin Peay for sure. So Andy Penny has got low ambition for what it's worth. 2 years of 65. So now I need a third assistant, and I said there was going to be scouting on my third assistant. I mean, I wonder if this guy would take the offer. I mean, that's a boost. I mean, I don't like their record, but maybe it won't matter too much. Let me see if I can get him on the third assistant side. And let's just say 40 for maybe 3 years. And let's run this bid and see what we get. I hope we get these really quick so I can move on. So we got, I'm seeing Pennsylvania, but I'm not seeing Penn State. Yep, we got Troy Jones. So we got basically David Spann, and we need that guy. And Troy Jones. So we need the one other guy. I wonder if he's still available, Andy Penny. So let's just go for first assistant. We're looking for player development. Jeff Cape is still out there, but he's going to want a lot. So I don't foresee this guy doing it. I really don't. Matt Collins, let me see where he's at. He's got a poor reputation, though. He's never really coached. Simon Freeman, same deal. Marcus Green, did I just look at him? And then Larry Martin. I mean, I could probably get one of these guys pretty easy, but man, it bothers me that they don't have. He was a second assistant. Made the Final Four tournament. Yeah, I'll try this guy. Let me see. First assistant. Let me see if he'll take 52 for 3 years. All right, so I'm eager to find out the next stage here. So hopefully this'll do it. Hopefully, and we got it. So we've got our three coaches here. So I'm gonna work it. He's gonna handle practice. He's gonna handle recruiting, and then he's gonna handle scouting. Not a great recruiter there at the second assistant, but I'm hoping that our prestige and the conference prestige is something that I can really pitch, and hopefully that'll be enough. So now, we're done with the coaches. We can advance. Hopefully I didn't put myself too much in the hole in recruiting. I mean, that's going to be, something that I'm going to have probably at least a season or two to adjust, coming from that small college like Austin Peay. I mean, where there was really no budget to go to this team. We're probably going to have at least double the recruiting budget just from what, factoring in what I've spent already on the assistants. So let me see if it tells me here. If it gives me any budget. Whoa, that's 5,900. That can't be right. That's got to be for next year, surely. So meeting with the board. So let me see what we're looking like. We can increase budget, upgrade facilities, or more time. Well, I guess I'm gonna have to fix that budget. Let me see if they'll give me more. I mean, we're facilities B minus, academics B, more time. I mean, they're asking for basically the NIT tournament, so that's not bothering me too much. I think I want to go for budget. I think that's where I need things to work out. So what are we looking at here? So we got, we haven't moved on to the next season. It looks like I don't think I have any. Yeah, it's not available now. So looking at the inbox, they deny my request. That figures. So now we're going to move forward to the next season. So that's going to give me a little bit of an idea of what kind of team we're working with here. It's kind of I know it's a little bittersweet in some ways. I mean, I anytime I play these sports management sims, like Out of the Park Baseball, for instance, or this one, any of the other ones that I've played, I'm have a hard time moving on from the team, because you always want to see what those players you've developed and signed and in this case drafted, what they're going to do. So I feel like I'm coming off my best draft class, or not draft, I keep saying that, but recruit. I feel like I'm coming off my best recruit class since I've been playing this game at Austin Peay. So I think that team has a good chance to make another run at the OVC and the Final Four tournament again. So it was really a little bit of a bittersweet decision, I guess, to move on to Penn State, even though I think Penn State's this is a great challenge. One more year at Austin Peay would have been nice. And so I'm probably going to keep an eye on, as the season goes on, I'm probably going to be bouncing back and forth between, this team, this conference, and seeing what that OVC conference is doing, because, I put 3 seasons into it. I'm familiar with it, so I want to see what it's like. All right, so here's where we're at. We've got, just like everything else, when you go to the off season, you can choose to skip all this, but I like to go through it. You buy your scouting reports. You get some scheduling to go. You have some insight on your scheduling, the budget. So it looks like we got $72,000 on budget left with recruiting. Now it won't let me do that, but just compare that to the 35 I had, I think, at Austin Peay. So that's a little bit better. And recruit class rankings. We are 144. Oh man, I wonder. I'm gonna see if Austin Peay shows up anywhere. They may be lower than I'm thinking. I see Tennessee Tech showing up here in the 200s, but let me take a look at it. So we got. I wish there was a way to filter this. Middle Tennessee, they were 81. They had a pretty good, considering where they're at. Tennessee Tech, 65. So they're putting together a good program there in this playthrough here. Austin Peay, we're top 100. We're 99. I mean, we beat out teams like Colorado State, North Dakota, Loyola, Maryland, North Texas, Massachusetts, Miami. We had a better recruiting class than Miami, Florida. So I'm still pretty happy with that. And you see where this Penn State team, they're coming in at 144. So now the big thing, what are the next steps? We're going to do the recruiting. I want to look at the dashboard again because now I've got this new assistant coach scouting this team, and it's kind of like I was figuring. There's going to be some major holes to fill with this team, and I don't know if it's going to tell me how many. Until we get into recruiting, I'm probably not going to know how many scholarships I've got, but it looks like I've got 1, 2 seniors leaving next year, so not many. And I've got a lot of attitude problems here. Let me see how bad these are. So we got the point guard here. The last I checked, he was really upset. 28% coach relationship. I've got to somehow build that back up because I'm really slim at point guard. Although he might be a better one right now. He doesn't have the potential that this guy has. And then Derek D'Elia, another pretty decent potential player. He's a junior. It's not too bad. It's in the yellow. I can probably work on that. Some of these other moods, though, they're looking bad. David Robinson, coach and team relationships bad. He's just not friendly. I think I looked at him earlier. And then we got Jeremy Jennings, sophomore power forward who doesn't have a whole lot of upside. He's probably going to be a bench player. And then Bo Morris, I'd say best player right now. His coach relationship's not too good, so I'm hoping that I'm going to be able to get him motivated as it goes along. He's not putting up a lot of points. It looks like from his bio here, he's not good inside. He's going to have to shoot outside, and I'm seeing that a lot. Kind of like the Austin Peay team. I feel like strategy, I'm going to have to go with something like if I look at these shooting guards like Derek D'Elia Jr. here, good outside shooter. It's flex and high post, no shuffle and triangle at all. So I may have to start practicing a little bit with motion. Might be something we can throw in the mix. I think motion, if I'm looking at the strategy, motion, though, you have to have good ball handlers. Not really. It's just that with the outside shooting, we're probably going to be better with something like a flex. Although, you have to have good ball handlers in the flex. I think the high post is probably better. Or the shuffle. I'm really not sure. I mean, I feel like I really think we're going to have to be an outside shooting team. So that's what I'm going to be focused on offline. But going through each of these guys, I mean, I'm kind of learning that that's what you have to do to win. You have to look at where your strengths are. If you got, these guys are good outside shooters, make sure are they good ball handlers? Because if they are, then the flex becomes an option. If they're not, like this guy, he's going to start probably at small forward. Well, one of these two, David Robinson or Douglas. Douglas has really good ball handling. Point guard, Messiah or either one of these guys. Wow. I mean, the potential's kind of there for Odell, but Messiah's got much better potential. He's probably not ready for the flex or shuffle, I guess is what I'm trying to say about the you need good ball handlers. But those are kind of things that I'll focus on offline. But I can see where this team is in a pretty rough spot, especially center. And let me see, depth chart. I don't know what the depth chart's going to look like default, but yeah, they've got Clark starting, and I think he's a walk-on, but I can't afford to put him at center. We got Morris playing time at center as well. And do they even have, I mean, they don't even have him in there. I mean, he's a sophomore. This is probably depth chart being held over from last year. He has got to be the starting center, I think, on the team. All right, so what are we going to do next? Let me see if I can advance into the report period. So we're not going to deal with any of these gold stars. That would be kind of crazy. But we are going to do Atlantic East for sure. And I wonder, what does the AI suggest? They're just saying basic for Atlantic East. I think my first year here, I'm gonna work on the team I have more than I don't want to go too far on the recruiting. I feel like hopefully doing that one region will be enough, and then the prestige of this conference will get us some interest outside the region, and we can scout them at that point. So going to advance there, and plus that's going to save us some money for recruiting as well. If it was, if I had a little bit more money, I would have done probably Atlantic East and Midwest. All right, so now we got the practice plans, and let's see what else we got. Players transferring. Oh no, we're gonna lose him. Oh, that's crazy. So Messiah's gone. So we're gonna be thin, incredibly thin at point guard. But one of these guys, I mean, he has great ball handling. He may be able to step in there. And, his passing is good. I think right away I'd probably put him at point guard starting. He's a junior. He's also upset for whatever reason. Not too bad, but oh man, what's his IQ? No, his athleticism is good. His court IQ is not that great. Man, there's so much to factor in. I mean, this guy, I don't, he is a red shirt. He's a true freshman with not much potential. So I don't see starting him. So let me see what recruit transfers are going to be tough, because I think I'll go through some transfers and let's see how this works, and maybe we'll get lucky here. Do we have anybody with? I'm gonna show stats for now. We got one scholarship available. We got interest. Thankfully we got a few centers that were in their top 5. And how about a point guard? We got some. So this is what I'm going to work on this offline. I don't want to get bogged down here in this episode on it, but I just really wanted to kind of look at the give you guys a heads up. Notice that we're moving on to different school, bigger challenge in a lot of ways. But I think I'm excited about this. I think you're probably going to enjoy it. Some of you guys who are looking for me to move to a little bit better conference team or conference, I think you can't get much better than this one anyway. I feel like this is a great place to be team-wise for the challenge and conference for the overall prestige. If it works out well, I think I can really build just a perennial powerhouse here with this college. But as always, I appreciate you guys supporting the channel, watching the videos, commenting, liking. I hope you're still going to stick with me. I'm going to change this over now. It's going to be a new series. This will be episode 1, and we'll move ahead and see if maybe we can get 2 or 3 seasons into this one and see what kind of record we'll have. But I will see you in the next episode. I'm going to work on some transfers. Thanks.